Hello, welcome to this edition of the EU Weekly Review, which focuses especially on the ongoing conference on the future of Europe. Here are some of the most important events over the past 7 days. Robert Cermak, the head of the European Parliament's office in Slovakia, has spoken to TASA in an interview that focused on the origin of the conference on the future of Europe. The idea arose soon after the Brexit referendum in the United Kingdom, when European leaders conceded that the Union was probably not going in the direction that the public wanted. The idea was born to ask the public so that ideas would come from below. The name of the project itself is a broad term, but that was intentional, giving people the opportunity to discuss anything that bothers them or that they'd like to change about the Union. Former Polish Prime Minister and former chairman of the Polish International Relations Institute, Jan Krzysztof Bielecki, thinks that the conference can deliver results far beyond its intentions if it addresses the EU's most important challenges. The old days when Europe focused on post-war reconciliation and deepening integration are gone. What matters much more today is addressing external challenges such as climate change, China's expansionist and revisionist policies, which encourage other authoritarian nations to question the EU's principles, the coronavirus pandemic, and coping with migration. Stefan Urbanek, a participant in the second Citizens panel of the conference, chose the issue of European democracy and values, rights, the value of law and security. He was especially pleased that, unlike politicians, the people present were able to express clearly what kind of Europe they want. They were particularly keen for each member state to meet the criteria of the rule of law and adherence to the set rules. Meanwhile, the EU should provide impetus, but it should not force a monotony of opinions. Greenpeace Slovakia head Katarina Jurikova, when reacting to the conference, said that the European Union and its member states should listen to the public more. People are worried about the consequences of the climate crisis and ecological collapse, and they want real action to tackle these problems quickly and fairly. But the EU is doing a poor job in this area. Both climate change and the environment are currently among the most frequently discussed topics at the conference. Head of Slovakia's permanent representation to the EU, Petra Vargova, has stated in an interview for TASA that although the conference is due to end next spring, the possibility that it could be extended can't be ruled out. It was originally supposed to last 2 years, but its start was delayed by 1 year due to the pandemic, and it's questionable at the moment whether the shorter period will be enough to collect and summarize the proposals. The Slovak Foreign Affairs Ministry told TASA on Thursday that the conference should ensure that marginalized groups and people who disagree with or want to leave the EU are given space, and it's important that the voices of women and the elderly are heard more. It also sees positives in that ordinary citizens are at the center and are given space to express themselves. The ministry can also envisage the platform remaining a permanent part of EU decision-making processes in the future. And that's all for this week's EU Weekly Review. Thanks for watching. See you next week.